Welcome to www.happynumbers.org. Today's lesson is finding what percent one number is of another, applying your skills, and this is part 2. And this is a little more complicated word problem here. There's several steps involved. Let's read the problem. In 2006, Joe made $12,000. In 2009, he made $15,000. By what percent did Joe's income increase from 2006 to 2009? So there are several steps here. Step number 1 is we have to find the difference between the incomes. We have to find the increase. So step number 1, we'll take his 2009 income and we'll subtract his income from 2006. And we get 0, 0, 0. So we get 3,000. So 3,000, there was an increase of $3,000. Now we have to find out how much did his income increase. So from what it was in 2006. So we want to know 3,000 is what percent of 12,000, because that's what he made in 2006, and we know how to do that. We can put 3,000 over 12,000, because that's how we set up the problem. 3,000 is what percent of 12,000? We make a fraction, and we put the difference between his income, which is 3,000, on the numerator, and the original income as the denominator. So the difference becomes the numerator, the original number becomes the denominator. Now we have to reduce this. Well, we know we can just get rid of these, and then we have 3/12. We can divide by 4, divide by 4, I'm sorry, my bad, by 4. Divide by 3 and 3, and we get 1/4. Now we have the fraction 1/4. And we have to change it to a percent, and I'm going to use the multiply by 100 method because 4 goes evenly into 100. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 100 25 times, and we multiply and we get 25 over 1, or 25%. So his income increased 25% from 2006 to 2009. Let's review this again. They're asking us that he made $12,000 in 2006 and his income increased to $15,000 in 2009, and they want to know by what percent did his income increase. So the first step is we have to find out the increase. So we found out the increase was $3,000 because we subtracted here. And then we are saying, okay, then $3,000 is what percent of his original salary? So then we put our fraction, 3,000 over 12,000, and then we just reduced and changed it into a percent. Let's take a look at another one of these problems. So B bought a blouse on sale for $40. Before the sale, the blouse cost $50. Find the percent of discount on the original price. Well, we have to then first find the difference between the original price and on sale. So we'll have to go 50 minus 40. This is what the blouse cost originally, and this is what it cost on sale. So the difference would be 10. Now if we want to find the percent of discount, this was the discount. So we want to find what percent is 10 of the original cost of the blouse, which was 50. So 10 is what percent of 50? Well, then we know we set up our fraction like so. We know we can cross this out, and so we have the fraction 1/5. And we're going to change this to a percent, and I'm going to use multiplying by 100. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 120. We multiply. 1 times 20 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1, so we don't even put it. And we put our percent sign. So the B bought a blouse on sale for $40. Before the sale, the blouse cost $50. Find the percent of the discount. Well, we found the discount was 10. And then we took 10% is what percent of 50? And 10 is 20% of 50. Okay, let's put a problem up for you to do. Let's have you take a look at this problem. Last year, Aaron made $3.60 an hour. This year, he makes $4.20 an hour. By what percent did his wage increase? All right, we'll put your video on pause and see if you can work that problem and turn it back on again. Okay. Well, last year he made $3.60. This year he makes $4.20. So we have to find the difference. $4.20, $3.60. Subtract. This would be 0. I'll have to borrow. 12 take away 6 is 6. So 60 cents was the difference. Now we want to know by what percent did his wage increase. So we want to know 60 is what percent of his original wage, which was $3.60. Well, we know we can cross the zeros, and we have to reduce. We can divide by 6. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 36 6 times. And now I have to change this fraction to a percent. And I'm going to use the division method because 6 doesn't go evenly into 100. So 6 divided into 1.000, my decimal here. 6 can't go into 1, but 6 can go into 10 one time. 1 times 6 is 6, and I get 40. 6 goes into 40 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36, and I get 4. 6 goes in at 6 times, and so I know this is going to go on and on and on, and 6 is, so I'll stop here. So I changed the fraction 1/6 to the decimal fraction 166 thousandths, and now I know I'm going to change the decimal to a percent, so I move 2 places, so I wind up with 16 6/10%. So his salary increased 16 6/10% over the course of the year. Okay, let's put one more problem up for you to do. Don't panic here. I think we may go over the 10-minute limit, but not too much. Okay. In 2008, there were 128 wildfires in Northern California. In 2009, there were only 96. By what percent did the number of fires drop from 2008 to 2009? All right, put your video on pause and work this problem, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay. Well, we need to find, first of all, how many fires were less. So we have to subtract 128 minus 96. 8 take away 6 is 2. And 12 take away 9 is 3. So there were 32 fewer fires in 2009. But we want to know what percent drop that was. Oh, there goes our timer. That's okay. We'll finish this. Okay, so we want to know what percent 32 is of 128, because that'll tell us how much dropped. So 32 over 128. And we want to reduce this to its lowest name. 30. You know what? I think 32 times 4 is 128. Let me see. 32 times 4, that's 8, and that's 12. Yes, it is. So we can divide by 32. 32 and 32. Well, 32 goes into 32 one time. 32 goes into 128. We just found out 4 times. Okay, so now I have the fraction 1/4, and I have to change that into a percent. So I'm going to use the multiplying by 100 method, because 4 goes into 100. 4 goes into that once, 4 goes into 125, and so I have 25%. So there were 25% fewer fires in 2009 than there were in 2008. Again, let me just quickly review how these problems work. These are 2 steps here. Here we had to find the difference between the 2 years, and then we had to find, once we found the difference was 32, then we wanted to find out what percent, 32 is what percent of the original amount of fires. And so then we just created our fraction, reduced it, and changed, and we wound up reducing it to 1/4, and then we changed that fraction to our percent. Well, sorry I went over a little bit here, but we'll see you next lesson.